Okay. So, what is, in your experience, what has been the hardest thing and the greatest thing about being an exchange student?
That's such a hard question.
If you can't narrow it down to just one or two things, then like you can expand a little bit if you want.
Okay. I think a very challenging thing is you're in a new country with people that you don't know. You've probably never met anyone in Korea. Well, some people who might have more interest in Korea or know people in Korea will have, but in general, like you're in a totally new place with totally new people speaking a totally new language, and there's like you will feel, especially at the beginning, a sense of loneliness, a sense of like missing your family to some extent, missing your friends. One thing I do think with the NISLI program in particular, because they are in my year there are 15 kids, and it varies from year to year. I think it's in general it's been growing. But one thing that was great about the NISLI program, I think, is that you have like a group of friends that you can sort of lean on, in particular at the beginning, to help you adjust to Korean culture. And they've been like a group of people that I can always talk to about my experiences. And because we're all going through this exchange together, we can always like share our experiences, share what we're feeling, what our challenges are at school or with our host families. And we all like have this understanding because we're going through the same things.
That's great.
But I think that with being an exchange student in general, you cannot escape some of that like sort of loneliness or challenges at the beginning with communication and just like an incredible like, confusion at the beginning, and confusion when your host family is telling you something and you misunderstood or you just have no idea. Or the same thing happens at school. So those are pretty big challenges, and something that I think that you should like know at the beginning before you do an exchange that you're getting into. It's
not all flowers and roses and idols. It's really hard, but it's so worth it.
Exactly. And but despite that sort of like loneliness or having to get by on your own a lot, or like maybe even because of that, you have a greater independence when you come to a new country. And it's sort of a step into adulthood, obviously going away from your parents for a year, or in our case 9 months or however long you were away.
A while.
Going away from your parents for this amount of time, you get a greater sense of independence, and just the most important thing that I feel that I have gained from NISLI, from being an exchange student in general, is just a huge increase in perspective. Having experienced not only my life in like a white upper middle class America, and having come to a country where like everyone looks different from me. Everyone speaks a different language from me. Everyone like I mean, there are people who you will find even in Korea who are similar to you, have similar personalities, that sort of thing. You'll find that wherever you go. But in general, there are like the cultural differences are big enough that all of these people that you will meet will open you up in new ways.
That's great. All right, so one more question for any parents who are watching. How often did you call your mom on exchange? Be honest.
I mean, it's not, I'm not embarrassed. I talk to my parents like once every 2 to 3 weeks, basically consistently throughout the program. Well, I think most of that was my parents, who they got cacaos once I came.
My mom has one too.
And basically cacaoing me at different times, more often, sometimes less often, but basically cacaoing me like, how's it going? Like,
you still alive? Are you eating?
What's school like? Like, how's your Korean coming? And things like that. And for me, it's been a fairly consistent once every 2 to 3 weeks through Skype. And I think in a lot of ways, having this separation from my parents has like, it's more pleasant. Like when we do talk, it's like, it's pleasant because
like you look forward to it.
I look forward to it. And like in America, I saw them every day. It wasn't like an exciting or like interesting thing to talk to my parents, but now it's become like my connection back to America, and I can learn not only what's going on with my parents, but with like my other relatives and that sort of thing. My parents like kind of forward me information about how everyone's doing. So it's been like it's been very pleasant to be able to continue to talk with my parents and stuff like that through my time in Korea. Although I think if you talk too much, it can be...
It like detracts from the experience.
Yeah.
Because like you really can't be in two places at once.
It's true.
Like this is something that me and my family struggle with initially because like number one, you're not gonna have any time. Like frankly, like you're gonna be busy constantly, and then on top of that, there's a huge time difference. So really, there's only like a 30-minute to like hour-long window where it's convenient for both you and your family to talk. So, like, I think that was kind of what made it acceptable after a while that we didn't talk every day. And like after a while, you're excited to talk to your parents. Like you want to tell them what you're doing, because I mean, like they want to know. Like, you've been. It's pretty cool. So I think being away from your family for this long makes you appreciate them a lot more.
Yeah, definitely. I think that can be said of your friends back at home too, or like if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend or something like that at home, then that can be said like talking to them too much might be like it will be a challenge because of the time difference. But it could also like if you're mentally back in America with your friends and family, then you can't really be fully in the experience in Korea. Like it's great that we have these technology, Facebook, Kakao, Skype, these things that we can communicate with our family back at home, but you cannot rely on it too much, like for support when you're feeling bad. Although like if you have nothing else to do, or even just like when you're at school or something like that, you want to be focused where you are, and then if you have free time, if you have time to do other stuff, then like you can definitely talk to your family and see how your friends are doing. It's great.
Definitely. All right, well, it's getting dark, so we're actually gonna have to go, but thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for telling us about Nisli. So anyway, if you guys like this video, make sure that you leave a comment or subscribe to my channel below. You can also follow me on Instagram at Sarah Soul Search, or on Twitter at SEM_SoulSearch. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, just send me an email at sarahsoulsearch@gmail.com. All right, thank you guys so much and have a great day.
Bye.
Annyeong!